Super Bowl! Yeah! Woo! Oh, I love it. How you doing, guys? As you can tell, I'm a very, very happy guy. Why? My New England Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. Yes! 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 Fuck yes! So yeah, I'm pretty fucking happy right now. But this is a sports vlog, so I will start, as usual, by saying, hi guys, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well, because I certainly am. Welcome back to Cujo06241 Sports Vlog. I am your host, Justin Crumley. Got a lot to talk about. Let's get started. Alright, you guys know how this works. I like to start with college football first. And some big news. Joe Paterno got all of his records back. Yeah. There was a court case between, I guess, Penn State and I don't know, whoever was trying to get Paterno his records back. But the court case has been settled. And Joe Paterno got all of his records back, which means he is now the winningest head coach in college football again. In my opinion, he never wasn't. But after the whole Jerry Sandusky incident, all of his records got taken away, which, in my opinion, was a little shitty. Joe Paterno, yeah, it was a little shady the way he handled the situation. But to take all of his records away, I mean, after the man was dead, it was bad. I mean, he got fired, and I'm not saying he didn't deserve to get fired. But to wait till he died to take away all of his records and take down his statue, I just didn't think that was appropriate. I really didn't. I thought, Jerry Sandusky got what he deserved. He's in jail now. And I know Joe Paterno, he, I guess, knew it was going on, and instead of going to the cops, he went and tried to keep it inside the school. But to take his records away and all that stuff, I never agreed with that, so I'm really happy to see that he's got all of his records back, and now he can rest in peace. Now, that was actually the question I put out this week. I didn't put a question out last week because I wanted to keep it short, but this week I'm not holding anything back. And I did put the question out on Twitter, and this is the question I'm going to put to everybody else here. How do you feel about Joe Paterno getting his records back? You guys know how I feel about it. I want to know what your opinion is. In case you're curious, I asked the small group of friends of mine on Twitter, well, Detroit sports friends. I got a lot of friends on Twitter. These are a couple answers I got. At Hobadog, Joe Pa seemed pretty dumb about all of it. Okay. I'm guessing that means Joe Paterno handled it the wrong way. I don't know what else to say. At Kenny Sledge, not my place to judge. Great coach, but if he knew it was happening to those kids, F him. I actually do agree with you, Kenny. He was a great coach. And if it is true, if he in fact did know that this was going on, that Jerry Sandusky was sexually assaulting these kids, then he probably should have handled the situation better. But I don't know the whole story. But I did think I do think it's really nice to see that all his records have been restored. Rest in peace, Joe Paterno. You were a great football coach. But I want to know what you guys think. How do you guys feel about Joe Paterno getting his records back? Let me know in the comment section below, or tweet me on Twitter at Cujo06241. Alright, now we're hitting the pros. Gary Kubiak is now the Broncos head coach. I'm not a Broncos fan by any means, but it's big news, and I thought I would share it with you guys. Kind of surprising, actually. I'm kind of surprised they hired him. I mean, he had like, I think, one good year in Houston. I don't know, but if Denver thinks he's the man that can get the job done, then, well, best of luck to him. Alright, let's get into some playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Seattle beats Green Bay 28-22 in overtime. This was a fucking great game, and again, I was right. I'll get to that whole thing in a minute. But anyway, this is a great fucking game. Green Bay was up 16-0. And then they went up 19-7. And I mean, like the last, I think, 2 minutes of the game, Seattle just, boom, they just kicked it into high gear. They forced it. They actually took a lead, 22-19. And then Green Bay came down and kicked a field goal, sent it to overtime. But the last thing that happened was Russell Wilson hit Jermaine Kearse, and Seattle got a touchdown. They won the game, 28-26. 28-22, excuse me. I'm looking right at it, and I said 26. But whatever, it's cool to see Seattle. They are actually the first team since my New England Patriots to make it to back-to-back Super Bowls. The Seattle Seahawks were actually my favorite team as a kid. You'll find out more about that in my short film, 13 Years a Patriot. Now here's the one I've been really looking forward to. New England thumps Indianapolis 45-7. Some big things happened in this game, including some controversy, which I will get into in a second. Tom Brady passed up Peyton Manning for most yards thrown by a quarterback in the postseason. Bill Belichick is now the winningest coach in postseason history, passed up Tom Landry. Tom Brady earned his 20th postseason victory that game. He actually has more wins by himself than most NFL franchises. I'm not kidding. Take a look at this picture I found on Facebook. Now I'm going to talk about the controversy, the Deflategate. You know, that makes me laugh, Deflategate. Because I want to know how many people really know why we're calling all the controversies in the NFL something gate. And I'll give you a hint. No, it is not because of Spygate. I'll give you another hint. It involves politics. If you can tell me, let me know in the comment section. I know the answer. Do you? Well, anyway, yeah, Deflategate. Apparently, Tom Brady threw a pick, and the Colts player, was a linebacker, caught the ball and noticed it was kind of like deflated somewhat. Not totally, but it was a little deflated. He took it to the trainer, who took it to Chuck Pagano, and then Pagano turned it in, and now there's this investigation going on, and yeah, whatever. Irregardless, this game was not close. Indianapolis got destroyed. So, deflated ball or not, I don't think it matters, and I think it's stupid that people are making a big deal out of it. When Gronkowski, man, when he slams that ball hard enough, it just deflates. He's so strong that when he spikes the ball, it makes the ball deflate. So there you go. Another person had a big game, LeGarrette Blount. I mean, the guy had, I think, 30 rushes for 142 yards, I believe, 140 something like that. He had a boatload of yards. He had 3 touchdowns. I mean, he smoked the Colts. No pun intended. Actually, before I move on, I do want to say this joke. Somebody made a joke about, LeGarrette Blount like running all over the Colts. They said the Colts probably need to smoke a blunt right now. The problem is the Blount's smoking them. I love weed jokes. So yeah, we got a New England and Seattle Super Bowl. Believe me, nobody is happier about this than me. Because, as I said earlier, Seattle was my favorite team when I was a kid. Up until I was about 9, and like when Tom Brady became big. I may sound like a bandwagoner there, but you guys know who I'm going for. I'm definitely going for the New England Patriots. They are the underdog. That's okay. I like them as underdogs because when, they've been underdogs before in the Super Bowl. Their first one, Super Bowl 36 against the St. Louis Rams, they were underdogs. And they won. I hate to bring this up, but Super Bowls 42 and 45, they were the heavy favorites, and they still lost both of them. So, I'm just saying, this is going to be a good game, and I really don't want to see a blowout happen. Even if New England ends up blowing Seattle out, it just wouldn't be as entertaining. I think we're going to get a great game right here. This is going to be a really close one, and I am definitely looking forward to the Super Bowl in a couple weeks. Alright guys, I got some baseball news for you. First, this isn't really too important, but I just want to kind of put it out there. The Padres are hosting the 2015 MLB All-Star Game. I really hope they honor Tony Gwynn in this game. I really do, because they didn't do it last year in the All-Star Game because they were too busy obsessing over Derek Jeter, which I don't even call the 2014 MLB All-Star Game the All-Star Game. I call it the Derek Jeter game because it was literally just about Derek Jeter the whole fucking time. And now don't get me wrong, I like Derek Jeter, but that whole goodbye tour, the farewell tour, I mean, did we really need to hear about it every 5 fucking minutes? Was it really necessary? Did they have to shove it down our throats to the point where a lot of us were physically choking? I mean, really. And the fact that they didn't even honor Tony Gwynn or I think the manager that died that year, it made me sick. It's like, what? I love Derek Jeter, I really do. But, what? I don't know. But the Padres are going to host the 2015 MLB All-Star Game, and I hope they honor Tony Gwynn there, because he was Mr. Padre. Now we're getting to some good stuff, and by good stuff, I mean everybody is probably either going to be really happy that I'm talking about this, or they're going to blast me in the comment section because they hate my opinion and they don't like looking at my face. So, anyway, Max Scherzer signs a 7-year deal worth $210 million with a huge amount of incentives. 7 years of incentives, to be exact. He signed with the Washington Nationals. Yep. Max Scherzer's time as a Detroit Tiger is done. Now, let me say this before I get into this deal. I like Max Scherzer. I really did. I was kind of bummed when I found out we were going to let him walk. But you know what? When I heard that he was looking for a Clayton Kershaw type deal, I was one of the first people, not the first, but one of the first, to say, fuck no, dude. Are you out of your mind? Bye. Go somewhere else if you want that kind of money. And here's why I said that. I'm not going to deny Max Scherzer was a great pitcher, because he was. He earned that Cy Young in 2013. But here's the thing. He won one Cy Young award. That doesn't mean he's worth $210 million plus 7 years worth of incentives. So I don't like this deal. If I'm a Nationals fan, I'm split. I like that they got Max Scherzer, but I don't like the deal because now they're committed to him. So if he ends up doing what Justin Verlander did and goes mediocre, they're stuck with him. They're screwed because no one is going to take that contract. Remember when the Tigers signed Prince Fielder to that big contract? I'm telling you guys right now, this is not going to work. This really isn't. Another thing, he has to bat now because he's playing in the National League. So, yeah, let's see how well that goes. But nonetheless, Max Scherzer, I wish him all the best. I'm just kind of glad the Tigers didn't give him that kind of deal. There is a lot of talk going around that the Tigers have been in talks with James Shields' agent. I would like that for the right price. I think James Shields would be a good addition to the Detroit Tigers. He won't. I don't think he'll cost as much as Max Scherzer, and he's a lot younger. So, well, not a lot younger. He's like 2-3 years younger or something like that. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind welcoming James Shields. If that happens, they can move Alfredo Simon to the bullpen. So, yeah, I mean, if they can get James Shields for the right price, I would not mind that one bit. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's not going to break my heart at all. And I'm not going to sit here like a lot of fans and some fans I saw on Facebook and say shit like, oh, the Tigers are done. We're fucked. Oh. Because Max Scherzer was the whole team. No. Alright, let's move on to hockey. The Red Wings beat the Blues in an overtime nail-biter, 3-2. Joachim Anderson scored his first goal of the season. He actually scored first. He was the first one to score in the whole game. The Red Wings went up 1-0. Tatar scored his 18th of the year. Now he is 21. I'm going to say that right now. He actually leads the team in scoring. But anyway, the Wings went into the third period with a 2-0 lead, and they completely blew it. Yeah, they blew it. They blew it. 2.2 seconds left. Pavel Datsyuk, bam, goal, game over. They beat the Blues, one of the best teams in the Western Conference. And the fun didn't stop there. Saturday night, the Red Wings smashed the Predators, who are the top team in the Western Conference. They smashed them 5-2. Tatar scored twice, Zetterberg scored once. Quincy and Nyquist also got some goals. Awesome. I guess it doesn't help that the Predators had their backup goalie in, and he's not all that good by what I saw in his stats, but I don't really care. I'll take a win any way I can get it. And then this past Sunday, the Red Wings got their fourth straight win against Buffalo, 6-4. This game didn't start out so good. Buffalo took a 3-0 lead. I actually turned the game off. I started watching the Pats game, even though by then I knew that game was over. The Pats pretty much had it won. And then my phone blew up like 3 times, and I see the Wings tied it up. So I went back. They took a 4-3 lead, then a 5-3 lead. Then Buffalo scored, and then Zetterberg scored, and made it 6-4. Zetterberg actually got a hat trick in this game. The 6th in his career. Actually, he has 7. He has 1 in the postseason. And I'll name off all the teams that he's done it to. Arizona, who was Phoenix at the time, twice. Minnesota, Columbus, Anaheim, St. Louis, and now Buffalo. So there you go. It was awesome. Mrazek gave up 3 goals way too early, so we got to see Tom McCollum. Got his first NHL victory. Kid looked solid. He looked really good. I mean, this is amazing. This is the Red Wings farm system, and I love it. I absolutely love it. As of right now, Detroit is now in 2nd place in the Atlantic Division. And they got 63 points because they won tonight. last night technically, against Minnesota. I will get into that in a second. So yeah, this is a good game. A lot of scoring, and really cool to see Tom McCollum get his first victory. Keep up the good work, Detroit. And finally, the Red Wings beat the Wild 5-4 in the shootout. Yes, I said shootout. Teemu Pulkkinen got his first NHL goal in this game. The Wings blew a 3-goal lead in the third period. I'm not kidding. They were up 4-1. Third period. Minnesota ties the fucking game in the third period. And then it went to overtime, and I was just flipping out. I was so pissed that I was honestly on Twitter ranting like they're about to fucking lose. They blew a 4-1 lead. But nope, they went to the shootout. Datsyuk and Nyquist both scored. Mrazek stopped both shots. The Red Wings took home 2 big points. So we're heading into the All-Star break with 63 points. Second place in the Atlantic Division. By the way, this was their 5th win in a row, so really awesome. Going into the All-Star break with a lot of momentum. Tampa Bay's got 64, Detroit has 63, Montreal 61, Boston 56, Florida 50, Toronto 47, Ottawa 45, Buffalo 31. Top team in the Eastern Conference is Tampa Bay. Detroit's tied with the Islanders, who are in first place in the Metropolitan. So it's really cool to see the Red Wings have just come so far. Go Wings. Alright guys, let's get into the last segment of the show. Basketball. A little bittersweet this time. The Pistons lose to the Pelicans 105-94. I forgot when that game was. They beat the Pacers 98-96 with last minute tip in from Andre Drummond, I believe. Maybe it was Brandon Jennings. I forget who. But they beat the Pacers. They had 7 straight wins on the road. Now you notice I said had. I'll get to that in a second. Saturday night they smashed the 76ers 107-89. And then this past Monday, which was Martin Luther King Day, very important holiday, they lost to the Hawks 93-82. Their road winning streak was snapped. So that kind of sucks. But, you know what? Hey, can't win them all. It's just good to see the Pistons have just turned everything around since waiving Josh Smith. I mean, you look at the stats, they've gotten so much better. It's not just wins, it's everything. They look like they're playing a little better, more cohesive. They're having fun. They just look like a whole new team. So I guess it's true. One man can bring down a whole team. Alright, let's get into some Michigan basketball before we go. Michigan beat Northwestern 56-54. Here's some bad news, though. Karis Levert is done for the season due to a fracture in his foot. Huge loss for Michigan. I mean, the season was already kind of rocky, but this is huge. I mean, huge. Let's just hope they can manage without him. And finally, this happened earlier. Michigan beat Rutgers 54-50. They won without Karis Levert. So that's good to see that they're still able to win. Let's just hope they can keep it up. Make a run at the Big Ten. Well, that brings another sports vlog to a close. Sorry this one was a bit long. But I had a lot to cover this week. And I wanted to wait to record this because I wanted to get the last Wings game in before the All-Star game. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. My short film, 13 Years a Patriot, should be up soon. I'm currently in the middle of editing it. So I'll have that up when I can. Till then, guys, have a great one. This is Cujo06241 signing out.